Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So this is Sai Pramod, I'm the co-founder of Alokit. Many of you know me as well. So subsequent to our orientation program, the baseline conducted last week, I'm creating this short video to again explain to you the purpose of this baseline study that will be conducted over the next 1 month, right? So as I mentioned to you earlier, Alokit collaborated with the Telangana Social Welfare Residential Society as well as Tribal Welfare Society to conduct a school leadership development program for from the year 2022 to 2025. So this program is done in collaboration with Alokit and Global School Leaders, who will be the training partners. It's funded by Funds for Innovation and Development, French government funding agency. And a very interesting feature of it is we also have a research partners from JPAL, which is set up at MIT. So the 3 professors from different universities in the US are also going to do impact evaluation of this training program, so that we are able to understand if the training that is being provided has actually helped the school principals and therefore improve the learning outcomes of the schools. Right. So in this short video, I'm going to talk about 3 broad points and share what is the purpose of this baseline survey. Many of you asked these questions, and we'll also talk about what are some of the do's and don'ts for this survey. And lastly, if you have any questions or queries, we'll also share the contact names of the persons who you can reach out to. So before going ahead, I'll just quickly give you a brief of the number of people who are going to be part of the training. So in both the societies, we're planning to train about 250 school principals. If you look at broadly the division, so 150 school principals from social welfare schools will be part of the training, and 96 principals from tribal welfare schools will be part of the training. So these principals will be selected randomly. There is not going to be any bias. So there are still few principals who will be left, about 88 principals in social welfare who will be left, and about 54 principals in tribal welfare. So these principals will be trained later on after this first phase of training is over. So that sets the context of why the baseline is important. So the whole idea of this baseline survey is to understand the current practices and processes in the schools even before the training begins. So that comes second point. So once the training begins, we are able to track the progress of the schools during the midline and as well as the endline. So midline will be conducted 1.5 years from the date of the training program, and endline will be conducted at the end of the training program. So essentially, this baseline will help us evaluating the impact of the training program from the beginning till the end. So other interesting feature is there are also going to be principals who are not going to be trained during this first phase. So it will also help us understand if the principals were getting trained, getting more benefit, and are they performing better? Are they able to improve the learning outcomes of the schools better? So that if we are understanding that the training programs actually help, we can also use a similar kind of training model for training the other principals. So not only our society, it can also help us to design the similar kind of training programs for other societies as well, and other government institutions. So that's why it is very, very helpful to give an authentic data, authentic interview during your baseline. So for those principals who might not be in the training program in phase 1, it is still okay. You're contributing to this research study to help us understand how useful this training program is, so that it can benefit the country at large subsequently. So our sincere request is to make sure that you participate in this baseline survey very honestly. So a couple of details with regard to baseline, as I mentioned earlier. The baseline will be conducted in either phone call or Zoom call. You will be informed about the same on the day of taking appointments. So all the appointments will be taken at least 2 days in advance, so that you have time to actually delegate your tasks to any of your staff, so that you can completely give full time during the survey. And the process for taking appointments will start from 16th June, and then the entire process we are planning to complete by 31st July, so that we can start the training process in the first week of August. So please be mindful of these dates. Couple of do's. So the survey is going to be slightly longer. So it might take anywhere between 2 hours, and if there are interruptions, it might even take 3 hours. So we request you all to please block your time completely in the interest of giving the best possible information to the surveyors. During the survey, please make sure that you assign all the tasks to your staff well in advance so that you are not distracted in between. So also please inform your staff not to disturb you during the duration of the survey, because your information is very, very, very critical. Also be in a place with nice internet connection, a phone connection, so that there is no interruption. So lastly, if you have any urgent work and you want to change the dates of the interview, please reach out to Aishwarya Atluri. She is a research associate in this project. She can be reached out on the number 770-255-53. Couple of don'ts. Please do not take any fragile tasks during the survey. Please don't entertain anyone, and then please don't sign files, because you'll not be able to give authentic information. And sometimes it might also be distracting for the surveyors, as well as it might be you might not be able to get the best possible information. So other request is please do not travel while taking the survey. It's not safe for you, and also it might lead to a lot of disturbances in your view. So lastly, please don't worry about the correctness of questions. You can give honest answers. We're not going to judge you. The information is not going to be passed to anyone, because we believe that this information has to be checked private. Right? So, and lastly, if you have any, as mentioned again, if you have any doubts over the survey, if you have any questions on the survey and the process, please reach out to me on my number, on Aishwarya Atluri. We'll be able to help you clarify any of your questions and concerns. Right. Thank you so much. I hope this is helpful.